Today I would like to continue our talks about different areas of our life. As you know, we have discussed using a tool called the Wheel of Life, that there are different areas of our life that we should equally attend to in order to have a healthy and balanced life. So, in this regard, I would like now to talk about relationship within families. And a family relationship for me would include my relationship with my parents, my husband, my children, and also with my extended family, my siblings, my aunts, my uncles, and anyone who is related to me. However, in this talk specifically, I would like to narrow this down to the relationship between husbands and wives. As with any other area of my life, I believe it is important for us to identify our goals to pursue in our family life. For me, I have identified as a goal to live in open and honest relationship of mutual love and respect with my husband. So I would like to go word by word what I mean by this. Open means for me life that doesn't hide any secrets from each other. Honest means we don't lie to each other. And love and respect all deserve, I think, more elaboration. We cannot take it for granted. We need to identify what do we mean by respect, how do we show respect, and what is love. Of course, as a Christian, I follow the biblical principles, but even before I became a Christian, my parents had instilled in me basic principles on how to relate with another person, especially within a family life. Both of my parents are very loyal to each other. I never heard any story when they were hurting each other by having a relationship with someone else. So this actually gives me an appreciation for this kind of relationship. And in my own life, before becoming a Christian, I was swearing to myself that I would try to find somebody who would love me until death, and I would love back until death, and both of us would remain loyal to each other. And I don't know how I would take it if it didn't come true. However, I'm a very fortunate person. I became a Christian and I married a Christian person, and the biblical principle is very clear about the mutual loyalty and the love relationship. So far we have been enjoying more than a decade of a very happy and healthy relationship. And this year we commemorated our anniversary for the first time, and we took our wedding photos, which we weren't able to do during our wedding because it was so stressful and we didn't have much money to pay to the photographer. However, now I'm really happy to have most wonderful photos and a most wonderful husband. And trust me, this kind of relationship actually entails lots of work. It's not automatic, and you have to work very hard to maintain this kind of open and healthy relationship. And let me go into detail how I do this. So when we want to talk about love and respect, we need to really elaborate in detail what is love and what is respect. Respect for me means it starts from listening very carefully and being very sincere in listening. You know, during this life of marriage, I found out I'm not a good listener. I have never been listening to my parents. I've been rebelling since my teenage, and I've been always very self-dependent, independent and strong person. And now I feel like God is teaching me through this relationship in marriage how to listen to another person, how to devote all of my attention 100% in order to really listen, not to look for any argument against that person, but to listen to what he's really saying, to what he's really meaning. And then I also found out love is a decision. It's a decision to love, if I may say so. Of course it is a sentiment, of course it is a feeling, but I believe those romantic feelings could flee very fast when your partner shows his or her true colors. I don't think in the world we have any perfect people, and anyone from a closer look will show us his or her defects and some qualities that we are not happy with or comfortable with. And what should we do in that case? If your first response is, oh, this was not what I expected, so this is not love, I made a mistake, I should be looking for another person who is really my love, I think this kind of approach will never work, because there are no perfect people. And another thing to remember is I'm not perfect myself, and I can't expect others to be perfect. So, because love is a decision for me, commitment for me, I would stay in this relationship until we figure out a solution to any problem we face in our relationship. Also, love for me is giving without expecting anything in return. If I love only for the sake of being loved back, I don't think that's how the relationships work. When we love sacrificially, when we love giving all of us 100%, we also move the other person to love in the same way. And only when we love each other 100% and give to each other 100%, we reach that balance when it looks like we are 50-50. But it's not a negotiation, it's not like you do your part and only then I will do my part. No, it's not like that. But still somewhere we reach, because we are giving, both of us, we're giving 100%, we are happily balanced. And there's not much arguments about how much time we are devoting to family chores or taking care of our children, and how much money we are able to earn for our home and family life. It's all 100% ours. It's all 100% from both sides. And this vulnerable but very strong trust is the core to a successful relationship. Of course, when you are giving yourself 100% without expecting anything back, you put yourself into a very vulnerable situation. And if your partner decides to take advantage of you, then the relationship might go really in the wrong direction. So in that case, I would reflect, talk with that person and explain what I'm doing and explain that it's not really making any good to any of us if we just take advantage of each other. Another thing which is a part of showing respect is our voice and intonation, how we speak to each other, how we treat each other. If we are yelling, if we are shouting, that shows disrespect, and I believe that doesn't have any place in a healthy relationship. If there is a disagreement, if there is a situation when I start raising my voice, I immediately catch myself and start asking questions. Why are you irritated? Why are you angry? Could you deal with your emotion in a different way? And I do not like to abuse my husband with my anger and bad attitude. Because when I was growing up, I really faced the dysfunctional family relationships. My uncle would drink a lot and he would come and just bang our door, shouting words that he's going to kill us. And I saw lots of angry response from my father. I found myself, I would often raise my voice whenever I feel like I'm not getting my way. And I learned to catch myself and to stop myself before escalating into a very chaotic and ugly situation within my home. And this kind of personal issues need to be dealt with if you want to maintain healthy, robust relationships. And I believe by examining the triggers why we get angry, we could ultimately resolve this problem. I don't believe that having a good, nice voice is an act. I believe we could develop this kind of skill, but it is done out of a very sincere heart or sincere attitude. I want my husband to feel loved. I want to show it through my voice. And the same approach I use with my children. I don't want to raise my voice with them, and it's very difficult for me. I grew up in a family where people would often raise their voices with children or with their spouses. And when I go to public places, I also see lots of girls in Mongolia. They would raise their voice at their husbands. They often even call their husbands stupid or fool in front of other people, and that is really harmful act and behavior that doesn't help in the relationship. So making your husband ashamed in front of other people is something that destroys their self-respect and self-esteem, and ultimately destroys the person and the personality. So if you want to keep really healthy life and healthy relationship, we should avoid doing that. It's like cutting the person with a sword or with a knife, and it's really violent and ugly. I would use only the positive enforcement. Like if I want to change any behavior, I would openly initiate an honest discussion if I believe I should share it with him. There are certain qualities that they don't exist in the other person. Like for my husband, he lacks visionary decision making. He's a very patient person. He prefers to wait until he makes a decision. So my father is a very visionary decision maker. So I kind of expected my husband to be like my father, which is really illogical, but a lot of girls do that. And then I understood this is not going to work. So what I started doing instead, I started thanking him for his quality of patience, his desire to wait until making a final decision. It saved us a lot of money, lots of heart and headache, and of course lots of trouble. We need to appreciate the other person's good qualities. And as for the qualities which we want to improve, I believe they don't deserve thorough discussion. Any one of us are on a journey of development. We are growing with time. We are becoming wiser. So after a while, both of us are learning, both of us are changing. Therefore, he said to me, my husband said to me that now you seem to be like a completely different person than the person I married. And he means it in a good way. So we both mature and our relationship also deepens, and we expect this kind of amazing experience last until death does depart us apart.